An animal that actually outlived the dinosaurs chose a suburban backyard to plant its next generation. And the right thing to do was nothing. Initially, I get a text from the in-law saying that there is a turtle, a big turtle, in her garden. So I'm initially thinking this might be just a red ear slider turtle, because those are typically the turtles that sit in neighborhoods. But lo and behold, it was a big ass. It was Godzilla. No. It was a snapping turtle. Because I went over, I checked it out, and these are their stories. And essentially, we're just over here thinking that maybe this turtle is planting eggs, and so you really don't want to do much there. So she's actually contacting the what is it, like the neighborhood app? I think it's it's like the neighborhood app, I think, from like Ring or something like that, where you can actually communicate with your neighbors and actually see what's going on with the neighborhood. And so she's messaging people on there saying like, hey, does anybody know what to do? And so she actually got in contact with the guy who I guess lives nearby, who knows what to do. I think at this point he may or may not have gone over there. I haven't heard any updates from that, but we'll see where that goes. So honestly, we were thinking like probably best to leave it alone, right? So that it lays its eggs and it'll just move on from somewhere, right? So the biggest thing was like, how do you protect it? Because if it's gonna lay eggs, then it's gonna be predators, snakes, you name it, right? And this is like a suburban neighborhood that always has something going on. There's cats, there's dogs. I mean, it's a nice suburban neighborhood, so you're not gonna see too many loose dogs. However, there are cats, there are garter snakes, like there are snakes in the area. This is Houston, Texas, so there are snakes or whatnot. The best thing to do is just to leave it alone. Let it do its thing. Which is crazy because you got this giant snapping turtle that you don't want to get near, right? Especially its mouth, because you might lose a limb. I ended up finishing work and my wife texted me like, hey, my mom might need your help. And I was like, okay, what is it? So it's like this turtle over there. I was like, okay, cool, easy. So my thoughts was that the turtle just got stuck in the yard and didn't really have anything to do or to be able to get out. So I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna grab some gloves, grab a box, put it in there, and go over to the lake and just put it there. But obviously you don't want to do that because typically turtles know where to go. But this is a snapping turtle, so it might be a little bit more heavier, and also you got to be more careful if you're going to move it. Now the best thing to do if you are going to move it, it's probably the best recommendation is to, you know, don't move it. But if it's in a dangerous area like the middle of the street, the middle of the highway, you best probably want to move it, or in some lady's backyard. So when I came over, so like if you look at the plants and everything, the turtle actually came over, I don't know, and like walked over. I guess nobody saw it, or usually you don't want to do anything because like when turtles are walking, they just say don't touch it, like just let it do its thing, because turtles usually know where they want to go and they know where they want to lay their eggs or whatnot. So with this one, it might be laying its eggs. I don't know. I can't really see the eggs. It's like completely under. But I moved the brush on top of like the plants on top of it. They're also like thorny, so it's kind of hard to move stuff. So, but I think it might be. We think it's laying eggs. So real quick, if you like animals that move at 1 mile per hour, and for some reason you think that's a bit enjoyable, I created this app called wildbox.app. It actually is a digital detox app that helps the overstimulated professional detox, relax, and even sleep better, okay? So you play as animals in these calming worlds, and you can actually move around with them, control them like a video game, but the purpose is to relax and de-stress from everything going on, from work, from the craziness going on in the world, and this app might be just for you. A link is in the description below. Now, the snapping turtles family, they just essentially watched the dinosaurs get wiped out, and they just watched. And it just kept going. Basically, it said that snapping turtles have lived over 90 million years. That's pretty cool. It's also said that they can live past 100 years. So they might be living in my in-laws' garden for over 100 plus years. So we're gonna see about that. So we're probably gonna leave it, but you can see the hands and everything, and then the face. And then if I move this ever so slightly, you can see the tail back there. But what I don't see is eggs, which probably hasn't laid any eggs yet. But since it's in a neighborhood, it found this spot. It felt like it was a good spot, so it's probably just gonna stay here. But yeah, It's really cool. But yeah, that's what happens when you build a cul-de-sac around the nature. You're gonna get things like that. So I think it's pretty interesting. She also might be laying eggs from a mate that she met years ago. She decides when. Essentially what happens is females can store viable sperm in their bodies for years and then fertilize when the conditions are right. So that garden might be right. A female roughly lays 20 to 40 round white eggs, the size of ping pong balls. Hence, those snakes are kind of dangerous, right? So you might have those. So you got snakes that are probably gonna be dangerous. You got raccoons. You also got skunks and foxes that might take the eggs as well. And this is a suburban neighborhood. We ain't talking the ocean. So it's a whole different ballpark from sea turtles compared to this. So my mother-in-law's garden, she might have around 30 to 40 eggs by the time of next week. Who knows? And quick fact, snapping turtles have temperature-dependent egg male to female dependent system. I don't know. Essentially what happens is, dependent on the temperature of the dirt, these eggs don't have a sex chromosome. So it depends on the temperature of the dirt that then determines the sex of the egg or the sex of the turtle. So that turtle might come out male or female. It just depends on the dirt, depends on the temperature. So overall, if you were to find a turtle in your yard, it's best to do nothing. Do absolutely nothing. Just sit there. That is your best call. I remember when I was in Atlanta, Georgia, there was a bigger alligator snapping turtle. At least that's what I think it was. It was more aggressive looking. It was a snapping turtle, giant alligator looking tail. The mouth of it was more aggressive. Maybe just a bigger version of the one that I saw in my mother-in-law's backyard or garden. Because what happened was, it was in the middle of the street. And so I thought, well, I'm gonna move it to the side so it doesn't get hit by a car. And this was like 2 to 3 years ago. And when I put my hand near it, I had like gloves on too, obviously. I'm not gonna sit there and put my finger right in front of its mouth. No, that's gonna be me. But I put my hand near it with some gloves on, and I was gonna like pick it up from the side. Now, I did watch movies growing up, shows like Alligator, like the Alligator Boys, is it Alligator Boy or Crocodile Boy? I used to watch the shows on Animal Planet where you would see them pick up snapping turtles, like big ones, heavier ones, right? Or even the Crocodile Hunter. Even Steve Irwin, like I would see them pick up these turtles. And so I thought to myself, well, I could kind of do the same thing, right? Now they are generally very heavy, especially when they're out of water. So you gotta be careful with that. So I put my hands on its side, try to adjust it and move it around closer to the curb. And you'll notice that when it strikes, especially a bigger, heavier one, especially you put your hands near its side or even closer to its mouth, you'll feel the vibration on the ground. It's crazy. It's insane how powerful that jaw is. That's why you gotta be careful when you handle any snapping turtle or anything like that. I drove over expecting to move a turtle out of my mother-in-law's yard, but I ended up doing nothing. I sat there and just looked at it the whole time. But I gave my opinion. I gave my advice to my mother-in-law. Now she has a turtle in her lawn that we're not going to do anything about. Nonetheless, thanks for watching this video, guys. Please like and subscribe. I'm going to be talking more about this. We have some more episodes coming up, more about some animals, more about fish, you name it. My name is Sharif, and this is Project Wild Origins. Talk to you guys soon.